I'm sure you might also come across this video you see on the screen here. This actually happened in one of the universities in Ghana. That's the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, where a student was actually being dragged by a task force that they placed on school campus, on the campus to be actually dealing with students that dress inappropriately or indecently who comes for lectures. Well, in course of the recall, there has been issues here and there concerning this activity in UPSA or on UPSA campus or in the university where there is controversy on social media. The people are divided into two sections. Others condemning the action. People are also commending the school authorities for actually implementing it because they are actually of late the things where the girls they put on it is just way beyond human beings' imagination. So it is very good the school authorities are putting these measures in place. Well, something that the school body or the school authorities here stood up overnight and started dealing with this or started implementing this policy or bringing forth this dressing code. Well, in case you don't know, this has been existing for a very long time. And I quite remember somewhere in 2013, they've actually taxed the security at the gate that when students get to the school premises or they are approaching the school and they dress indecently, they have the right to actually let them return and go and dress properly. And those days, students were also being sacked, but as at that time, it was always common in classrooms where lecturers would have to ask you to walk out of the class, or when it is time for exams, that is where they get you, they rush you out, they tell you how to dress before you come and sit for your exam. So they rush you out, you go dress properly before you come back to the school campus. Well, fast forwarded in 2025, it has become something new again. And when you listen to some of the students, this has been something that has been existent for long and it is nothing new. It's just that they stopped along the line and they decided that no, it is becoming unbecoming, so they have to go back to the old method of dealing with students on campus. They have to adhere to their strict measures because, mind you, the school is a study with professionalism and it is UPSA, professional studies, professional school. So you must always behave as such. They would want to maintain their mantra or they want the mantra to be seen in the public domain. Well, prior to this video that you've seen on the screen that has been circulating on social media or has actually been trending, the student or the school actually issued this memorandum from Office of the Dean of Students to UPSA students. This was dated on 30th of June 2025. So subject is dress code of students for lectures. So management is concerned about the indecent dressing of students on campus, especially during lectures. Students are reminded that the university policy has not changed and the dress code policy would strictly be adhered to. You are therefore reminded to keep abreast with the provisions on the dress code as stated in the Undergraduate Student Handbook 2018 on the university's website. So this is back in 2018. They've actually put it or they've actually placed this on the university website for students to actually be reading. So when you get to the school, it is not something that you will see as a student that you don't know much about. There is a handout for this. So immediately you get your admission form. Immediately you are admitted into the school, they hand over this to you, and it's also on the school website. So even before you get to the school, you should be able to read this on the school website and know that this is how they operate in their facility or in their institution. So, with effect from July 1st, 2025, a task force will be positioned at strategic locations on campus to enforce the dress code and bring sanity to campus. So they've created awareness for students that 1st July there is going to be a task force that will be placed at strategic points on campus to bring sanity back on campus. So this is no news to the students because this has been made known to the entire student body. And they said, note that they will not be allowed into lecture halls with unkempt hair, shorts, bathroom slippers, tracksuit, anklets, nose rings, etc. to mention a few. We uphold our mantra, scholarship with professionalism. Signed, Office of the Dean of Students. So this has been something that they actually issued to all students on campus. So they know about this and that 1st of July 2025, there's going to be a task force back on campus that will be dealing with indecent dressing. So they say you have to study with professionalism. So seeing the video online, some of us who know much about UPSA, we are not surprised at all that we actually seeing this online concerning UPSA. Well, people are with the view that there is no need for dragging the student, but this is their code of dressing and they want to actually adhere to that. Well, there's been several talks concerning this that actually happened on UPSA campus. Well, the likes of Edem, Eric Edem Agbana, the MP for Ketu North, also added his voice, and he's like, netizens are not happy with what Edem Agbana came to actually write on his Facebook page, of which I'm going to share with you. He said, he writes and I read. He said, I understand the importance of instilling discipline and upholding codes of conduct in our educational institutions. However, banning nose rings, anklets, and similar forms of personal expression at the tertiary level is an overreach. UPSA must reconsider the scope of this directive. We can certainly maintain a minimal, generally accepted standard of dressing, but prohibiting items like nose rings is excessive. Yeah, you check like honorable they feel those way they wear nose ring. Well, at the very good honorable, I just they talk it's just sound like honorable they feel those way it's we do and then put on those ring. Well, sometimes it dey be there, they thought I yeah if but say we do not nip such directives in the bud on an institution may wake up tomorrow and declare that students with tattoos or anything similar are not welcome. As a former student leader, I would not have accepted such a measure. As a member of parliament and a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, I do not accept it now. My personal view, Honorable say that being personal view. My personal view, please note, NB, you are free to disagree, but start by reading my post well and understanding what it means. Pay key attention to paragraph 2. So, Honorable has made it known to the general public that what he has written, that is his personal view on the matter. That is his take on the matter. You are free to disagree. Honorable knows say Charlie the backlash will come, so he's been able to clarify things that at least and if the backlash want to come, people have to take it cool with him. So he made mention of it that he should pay key attention to paragraph 2 of what he actually typed on his Facebook page. So fast forwarded to about the 517 comments that he got from this particular post is like I may say 90% of the people are all in disagreement with Honorable. And Itirisam said, there's saying Adonis Kweku said, every organization has its ethics. I don't think every organization has its ethics, and I don't think you can get up and walk to parliament with any dress of your choice. And I'm sure those ring things a full on. That is what somebody is saying. Boy, the Kwame. And that is what he's also saying. He's saying the school's name is Professional Studies, and you cannot be in a profession and decide to behave the way you want, thinking it's your right or whatever. It shouldn't happen that way. Sometimes you get your company's HR manual and you are told to dress in a particular way. Why don't you insist that you are an adult so you won't comply? They read the school's handbook before accepting to be there, so they should be ready to go by the standards of the school. It's that simple. If you can't go by that, there are different schools who may allow these ways of dressing. That is what somebody also remember. So on the same paragraph 2, Ghana's parliament dress code prohibits wearing suit with tie without tie. Do you consider that excessive? Eric Agbada is actually tagged them. I believe the students are aware of the school's dress code and should adhere to it. We don't like to follow simple instructions. If you can't adhere to it, don't apply to the school. It's that simple. I don't know why people dress anyhow for lectures though. We shouldn't always bend the rules to satisfy people. So there has been lots of comments concerning this, and a lot of people are actually in disagreement with Edem Agbana for what he actually posted. Well, before I continue with some of the comments, let's listen to what one of the students has written when Joy News actually visited the campus to interview them. And let's listen to what the young lady actually shared with Joy News.
We're already giving notice since last week that indecent dressing is not going to be tolerated on campus. Something like nose rings and joggers and short clothes and other stuffs.
Yeah.
But actually, students, they'll be like, I'll wear it and come. Whatever happen should happen.
Yeah.
And today, they had to sack them this one to go back to the hostel or wherever they
Sure.
were coming from.
Okay. All right. So, what is one thing you've taken from it? Because I'm pretty sure. So, did your class delay or something like that?
Oh no, I came early. I was granted access because like I was dressed decently. So I entered.
So there's a task force that is doing that. I mean, they'll come around to check the students' dressing.
Yes, every time they do it.
Oh, okay.
But they came to stop it, but now they've started again because the students are dressing indecently too much, so they have to do some.
Okay.
They
All
have
right.
to
Sure.
All
implement.
right, so you've heard it all on, and she's made it known that this is something that they actually informed them about a week ago, that there's going to be activity of this sort on campus concerning the indecent dressing on campus. So she didn't dress indecently, so she was allowed to enter the class. But those who dress indecently, they were actually sacked from the school premises or sacked from class to go back home and go and dress properly. So it is just simple. And then sometimes we just have to know that every institution has its rules and regulations, and in order for you to fit in, you only have to abide by their rules and regulations. So if you are going to an institution where they've stated it clearly on their um, websites that they frown upon indecent dressing, you should know that when you get to the school, you must always dress decently so that you don't find yourself in such embarrassing situation. Mind you, UPSA is now becoming one of the law schools. They have courses that students also offer law. There's law department in the school now, so they always want to adhere to standards so that the professionalism must be in the school or must be known for the school. And I think they are one of the few schools in Ghana that are always strict on dressing. When it comes to dressing, they are very, very strict. So people were not happy with the utterance of Edem Agbana. They were not happy with his comments that he actually made on Facebook. So I don't know your thoughts on this particular issue. What do you think? Do you think what the school authorities are doing is very appropriate for them to actually be sacking students that dress indecently to campus or to go for lectures? They have to walk them out of lecture halls. Do you think it is appropriate for the students' body to be doing that, for the school body to be doing that, or you think they are going overboard? If you think otherwise, or if you are in agreement or agree with what is happening, just share your thoughts with us in the comment section. And so that is what is trending currently in UPSA school, and it is just beautiful to see students dressing decently. You know, sometimes we go out there and you see some students going for lectures, you ask yourself, are they really studying? Are they really like are they going in there for Sebio? Just like Omokobo shower and accident? Because sometimes their dressings are so revealing to the extent that you start asking yourself that why are they dressing in this manner? And so sometimes it's just good to bring this some of these rules and regulations on board to make sure they can be able to control indecent activities on campus. It is for the betterment of the students too as well, but then sometimes we don't know, and we must always not be praising things that we know is bad, but then we feel like, oh, it is university level, so we can allow people to do whatever they want to do. It is too bad. We know some of these anklets, nose rings, and whatever they may mention, people will not be happy with those things that they actually made mention of, because it has actually become normal things in the system now, where you see people putting on anklets, you put them putting on piercing their nose, their navels, or you wear a crop top going for lectures, then all your stomach is showing with piercings all over on your stomach. And what are you insinuating? Except you in your shower line, of course, why I don't expect students to sometimes dress in that manner. So that is my take on this issue. You can also share yours with us in the comment section. But then if it's your first time of visiting the channel, we also pleading with you to hit on the subscription button you see on the screen, and also turn on the post notification bell, that whenever we upload new videos, you would always be the first person to get an alert on your device. Until then, see you.